Monolith Corp, a titan of industry, a symbol of American ambition. It towered over the New York skyline, a monument to its CEO, Richard Kingsley.
He was a legend, a visionary. His touch turned everything to gold. Kingsley had taken Monolith from a struggling startup to a Fortune 500 giant.
His name was whispered with reverence in boardrooms and on trading floors. Awards lined his office walls. Magazines clamored for his time. Kingsley was the architect of his own success, a master of the universe. But even titans cast shadows, and in the depths of those shadows, whispers began to stir. The whispers started subtly. Employees, usually eager to work late, began to leave promptly at 5. Conversations in hushed tones took place behind closed doors. The once vibrant atmosphere of the office became heavy with unspoken dread. A sense of paranoia pervaded the air. Success, once celebrated openly, now seemed tainted. Every closed-door meeting, every hushed phone call fueled the growing anxiety. The whispers painted a picture of a man marked by fate, his triumphs built on a foundation of shadows. Richard Kingsley thrived on pressure. The weight of expectation rested easily on his shoulders, but the whispers brought a new kind of pressure. A cold, insidious fear gnawed at his confidence. He started to notice things, a feeling of being watched. He dismissed these occurrences as fatigue, but deep down a seed of doubt had been planted. January 5th, 2024. The first week of the new year, a fresh start. The employees of Monolith Corp bustled through the grand lobby. Richard Kingsley, their enigmatic CEO, was scheduled to address the company. Above them, a masterpiece of glass and light dominated the ceiling. Then, without warning, a deafening crack echoed through the lobby. A single crystal dislodged, then another and another, until the entire structure began to crumble. A cascade of crystal shards rained down upon the terrified employees. The aftermath was a scene of chaos and confusion. Dust hung heavy in the air, the glittering remnants of the chandelier scattered across the floor. Miraculously, no one was seriously injured, but the incident left an undeniable chill. The whispers that had been circulating in hushed tones now found their voice. Was this an accident, or was it something more? The days following the chandelier incident were heavy with unspoken tension. Employees went about their tasks with forced smiles and averted gazes. The usual office banter was replaced by an uncomfortable silence. Every creak and flicker sent a jolt of fear through the Monolith employees. They became hyper-aware, senses on high alert for any sign of the curse. The weight of the unspoken hung heavy in the air. Everyone felt it, but no one dared to speak it aloud. Kingsley retreated deeper into himself. He worked longer hours, seeking solace in spreadsheets and profit margins. Outside the gleaming walls of Monolith Tower, the city of New York continued its relentless pace. The cacophony of sirens, the rumble of traffic, the constant hum of millions of lives intersecting, it was a symphony of urban chaos that both invigorated and overwhelmed. But within the confines of Monolith Corp, a different kind of energy was building. It was the energy of fear, of suppressed panic, of a secret too terrible to acknowledge. The city outside might have been oblivious, but within those walls the curse was all anyone could think about. New York City, they say, has a way of revealing your deepest fears, of amplifying your vulnerabilities. And in the heart of that concrete jungle, the employees of Monolith Corp were about to discover that some fears are best left buried, and some curses refuse to be ignored. The omens were there, woven into the fabric of their reality. The shattering chandelier, the whispers in the corridors, the heavy silence that spoke volumes. It was a prelude to a storm, a gathering darkness that threatened to consume everything in its path. February in New York City. A biting wind whipped through the canyons of glass and steel, a constant reminder of winter's icy grip. Inside the towering headquarters of Monolith Corp, however, the temperature was always perfectly controlled, a testament to the company's unwavering pursuit of order and efficiency. But on the 53rd floor, in the meticulously organized office of Laura Benson, head of human resources, a different kind of chill had settled. It was a Monday, the start of a new work week. But Laura's desk, usually a testament to her meticulous nature, lay undisturbed. Her computer screen was dark, her phone silent. Her colleagues, accustomed to her unwavering punctuality, exchanged uneasy glances. Where was Laura? It was unlike her to be late, let alone absent without a word. As the hours ticked by, the unease grew. Whispers, hushed and anxious, spread through the office like wildfire. The incident with the chandelier, once dismissed as an unfortunate accident, now took on a more sinister aspect. Had something happened to Laura? And if so, was it connected to the growing sense of dread that hung over the company? A search was initiated, offices were checked, colleagues questioned, security footage scrutinized, but Laura had vanished, leaving behind no trace, no indication of her whereabouts. Her disappearance was as sudden as it was inexplicable, a chilling echo of the shattered chandelier incident weeks earlier. Then came the discovery. In Laura's office, a detail overlooked in the initial frantic search, a single word etched deeply into the polished surface of her mahogany desk. Cursed! The handwriting was elegant, almost calligraphic, yet the message it conveyed was chillingly clear. The discovery sent a shockwave through the company. The whispers, once hesitant, now reached a fever pitch. The curse, it seemed, was no longer a figment of their collective imagination. It was real, it was here, and it was targeting them one by one. The police were called in, but their investigation, hampered by a lack of evidence and a growing sense of unease among the Monolith employees, yielded no answers. Laura Benson had vanished, swallowed whole by a darkness that seemed to emanate from the very heart of the company she had dedicated her life to. The atmosphere within Monolith Tower, once electric with ambition and success, now crackled with fear and suspicion. The curse, once a whisper, had become a tangible presence, a shadow that darkened every corridor, every office, every interaction. Employees, once eager to climb the corporate ladder, now looked at their colleagues with suspicion, wondering who would be the next to vanish. The camaraderie that had once defined the company was shattered, replaced by a chilling sense of isolation. The incident with Laura Benson had shaken them to their core. It was a stark reminder that success, wealth, and ambition meant nothing in the face of the supernatural. The curse, it seemed, played by its own rules, and no one, not even Richard Kingsley, was exempt from its reach. The very foundation upon which Monolith Corp had been built, logic, reason, and the relentless pursuit of profit, seemed to crumble under the weight of the curse. The company, once a symbol of American ingenuity and success, was now teetering on the brink of chaos. Section 4, The Shadow of Doubt. Richard Kingsley, the architect of Monolith's success, couldn't shake the feeling of unease. The whispers, the strange occurrences, the disappearance of Laura Benson, it was all too much to ignore.
I tried to rationalize it, but deep down a seed of doubt had been planted. Was it possible? Could there be some truth to the whispers of a curse?
Section 1. Silicon Valley Dreams, March in San Francisco. The air was thick with the promise of innovation. Monolith Corp set its sights on Nebula Innovations.
Nebula's cutting-edge AI technology represented the future. The billion-dollar acquisition was a crowning achievement.
The atmosphere in the boardroom was electric. Executives exchanged confident smiles. Champagne flutes sparkled under the California sun, but beneath the surface, a darkness was brewing. Glitches in the Matrix. As Richard Kingsley launched into his speech, a strange thing happened. The screens flickered.
At first, it was just a minor annoyance. But then, the flickering intensified.
And then it happened. The screens resolved into disturbing images. Chaos erupted. Executives, their carefully constructed composure crumbling, scrambled back from the screens, their eyes wide with fear. Shouts of confusion and alarm filled the room, the air thick with a primal fear that needed no translation.
The ghostly figures on the screens seemed to multiply, their movements becoming more frantic, their silent screams echoing the growing panic in the boardroom.
The carefully orchestrated acquisition, the billion-dollar deal, the promise of a glorious future, it all evaporated in the face of this technological nightmare.
"Security!" he barked, his voice barely audible above the din. But even as he spoke, he knew it was futile. This was beyond the reach of security guards and explanations, beyond the realm of logic and reason.
The curse, it seemed, had followed them, had manifested itself in this most modern of ways. a technological terror that mocked their ambitions and exposed their vulnerabilities. The boardroom, once a sanctuary of power and control, was now a prison of their own making, a haunted space where the line between the digital and the supernatural had blurred. The chaos stopped abruptly. The screens went dark, the buzzing ceased, the ghostly figures vanished. Silence descended upon the boardroom. The deal with Nebula Innovations fell apart. Richard Kingsley returned to New York a changed man. He knew this was only the beginning. April in London, Richard Kingsley arrived, wearied by more than jet lag. The failed acquisition haunted him. He was in London for a crucial partnership, but his mind was elsewhere, haunted by shadows. The line between personal and business life blurred. Kingsley stayed at the Dorchester. The luxurious surroundings provided no comfort. He felt watched, something unseen lurking. Nightmares began, waking him in cold sweat. The room was freezing despite the roaring fire. Each morning brought new terror. Nightmares bled into waking hours. Kingsley's behavior became erratic. He cancelled meetings, unable to focus. The whispers echoed in his head. He felt trapped, suffocated by his life. The partnership deal unraveled. British executives backed out, citing concerns. Kingsley was lost in his own labyrinth. The curse had him in its grip. He stared out at the rain-soaked city, haunted. Kingsley returned to New York, a shell. The whispers followed him home. Employees sensed the shift, moved nervously. The office spaces felt like a prison. The pieces of a terrifying puzzle fell into place. The tension built, threatening to shatter Monolith's facade. A board meeting was convened. The air was thick with tension. Kingsley tried to reassure the board. His words rang hollow. The temperature plummeted, lights flickered. The impossible happened. Ghostly figures emerged from the shadows. Panic erupted. Board members scrambled. Kingsley watched in horror. A voice whispered, "You made a deal." Kingsley confessed to the pact. He screamed, a primal sound of fear. News of Kingsley's breakdown spread. Rumors swirled, fueled by terrified board members. Monolith's stock plummeted. The financial press tore Kingsley apart. Employees fled the cursed building. The once gleaming offices emptied. Kingsley was committed to a psychiatric facility. Diagnosed with dissociative disorder, he raved about deals made in the shadows. Nurses avoided his gaze. He sat by the window, haunted. The curse, it seemed, was real. Monolith Tower stood empty. Rumors of strange lights and whispers swirled. The city moved on, oblivious. The legend of Monolith Tower lived on. A lone figure haunted the top floor. The CEO's curse lived on. Richard Kingsley's story is a cautionary tale. His ambition blinded him to dangers. The curse spread through his life. Monolith Corp's collapse was a stark reminder. Some lines are not meant to be crossed. The true price of power is often far greater. The lingering shadow. The legend of Monolith Tower persists, a dark stain on the ever-evolving landscape of New York City. The building stands empty, a silent testament to the hubris of man, a reminder that even the most impressive structures can be brought low by forces beyond our comprehension. The city, however, has a way of absorbing even the most unsettling events, of transforming tragedy into urban legend. The whispers of the curse, the tales of ghostly apparitions and unexplained occurrences have become part of the city's fabric, woven into the tapestry of its history. But beneath the surface, the unease remains. The story of Richard Kingsley, the CEO who made a deal with the devil and paid the ultimate price, serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that the pursuit of success can lead to dark and dangerous places. And so, the city moves on, its skyline constantly changing, its energy undimmed. Subscribe to our channel, Mr. Thrill Seeker, and be sure to share if you dare. Stick around for more chilling stories.